Hey, what's up everybody? It's Awall here from TGN Games, showing you my solo queue Guardian build here in Guild Wars 2. I'm loving it. This is Legacy of Foefire. I love all of the battlegrounds. Legacy of Foefire is really cool because of some of the unique dynamics with these gates. The gates block the enemy team from coming in and attacking your base. Secondary dynamics include your Lord, and if you take down an enemy team's Lord, you get a ton of points for that, so you need to keep an eye out to protect your Lord. Immediately, I'm heading over here to the Waterfall. The 3 cap points in this one are Waterfall, Graveyard, and Quarry. And immediately, the enemy team is coming over here. The reason why I went to Waterfall, because this is a point that the enemy team, when you're red, the blue team's going to come over here, and they're going to try to contest this point early. I don't like to go get early points that are easy to pick up. I like to immediately contest because of the way this build is. The solo queue build is an all-around build. Getting a kill right there early. That's what's up. Awall picking it up, baby. Anyway, I love this build because notice how I'm critting like a champ. I do big crits with this build. I'm extra tanky. This build is oriented around removing buffs from enemies, CCing them, and also I support my allies via minimal heals and maximum damage mitigation and retaliation. It's quite sexy. I love this overall build where I can decide to kill, I can decide to tank, I can decide to support, and I'm just an overall beast with this build. I pick up the shield because on my 5, it allows me to do this knockback, and I think I have some great examples of that shield being effective here. Popping my elite skill because I'm taking an assload of damage, being really stupid. I'm being so stupid, and standing in that AoE damage there. That was idiotic. So I'm probably going to get taken out here as I just got attacked 3v1, got taken out on the back of the point, but we were able to contest that for a long time and pick up the cap early. So all that time, on that point, on that waterfall, we had the point, which was very, very nice. And that's ultimately what you want, right? Who cares if you die? Who gives a crap if you die? That doesn't matter. It's all about getting that cap. It's all about getting the points, because the only points that matter in the end is the 500 at the top of the screen. If you want to watch more gameplay footage or you want to watch the theory crafting video behind this build, click the more gameplay button up top, or just wait to the end of the video and you'll see a little video thumbnail there you can click and check out exactly what's involved with this build. It's very signet oriented. I've got minus 20% incoming damage because of the way I've spec'd myself, and I'm removing 3 conditions per 10 seconds of this build, so I cannot be stopped. Notice how conditions just don't stick on me very long. Boom, picking up another kill. Nope. Getting a little knockback there. Pushed him up against that wall. It was very effective. Getting another kill there. And that's what I love about this build. My previous build, the Tarek build, all support. Most Guardians are very oriented around, I'm going to be tanky and I'm going to be supporty. I say I be tanky, supporty, and I can kill a motherfucker. What? Alright. Damn, dropping the F-bomb like crazy. Well, just once. Okay, moved into the graveyard here. The graveyard is the most fun point on this map, in my opinion. There's stairs leading up and ledges on all sides where hunters, especially in any range attackers, can come in and just take you to the house, popping as many moves as possible to stay up and running and to try to contest this graveyard. In the meantime, I'm forced to pull back because it's 2v1. Have to use my elite skill here. It's my bread and butter, this elite skill. I love it. Refreshes all of my virtues, and it allows me just to come back in with my shield up, with my heal on, and fire damage, so I can come back in and hit like a truck once again, dropping my wall of warding there. See how it blocked them from pursuing me and allowing me to run up those stairs. Wall of warding is very, very sexy. Don't be scared to use it. I probably need to use my 4 here. Yes, I read my own mind. Use my 4, get my might back up, and it is time to use my swiftness, get back in the battle. Notice how they can't get rid of me. They can't get rid of me on this point. I don't care if it was 2v1. You move back out, you come back in, don't let them pick up the point, and spend as much time as possible actually on the point. Fights outside of points, that's not what you want to do unless you have a 2 cap. If you got a 2 cap, then you can fight outside of points and keep the enemy team pincered in. I'm going to let my ally pick up the cap on that point? No. See how I checked out the, I believe it was the quarry there? I was checking out the quarry to see if we could pick it up. The entire enemy team was there, so that would have been piss poor. Dropping my wall down here on the edge because I know the enemy team's coming in. I was trying to show you a pro move, and it didn't work out. I was trying to barrel roll on the other side of the wall in case I was being pursued. What I didn't know is the people that were pursuing me were all ranged attackers, and as you can see, they're hanging out up here on the ledge and just kind of trying to snipe us. The problem with hanging out on the ledge, like I mentioned a moment ago, yeah, you're going to do tons of damage up there, but you aren't capping shit. Who cares if you're doing all that damage? If you're not getting your cap on, it's worthless. Applying my AoE damage, God, those crits are just like crazy. Forcing him to pull back. It's okay for me to move off the point right now because we're pushing them away from the point, as long as that's the purpose in the end. So many players, so many who I can see are experienced PvP players. They're really good at microing. You can tell their experience in like WoW Battlegrounds are all about the one-on-one fights. They have that expertise. What they don't have is the tactics. And what I'm using, I have average micro, but what I have is the tactics. And as you'll see in all my gameplay videos, I'm always keeping these caps in mind and keeping the overall game in mind. Wall of warding, boom, you can't pursue me. Notice how I use that to go start to neutralize this point immediately. The quarry is starting to be neutralized, and now, even though I'm going 2v1, hopefully I can get my neutralize on here before they knock me back. Oh, I tried. At least I tried to demonstrate what I was talking about. If I spend a little more time here, I can get this thing neutralized using my knockback there. Almost neutralized, but now it's 3v1. Now it's time just to stay up and running, popping all my signets, popping my elite skill to try to stay up and running for as long as possible. But do you see how sexy this is right now? I just pulled 3 players off of all of the other points on the map for about 25 to 35 seconds, depending on which one we're talking about, allowing my team to get their 2 cap on. Let's look up top. Well, the loading screen's here to block us. That waterfall's almost capped. Oh, well, in theory, if my allies were actually good and point-oriented, there it is. There's the 2 cap. Because I kept 3 players on the other team occupied on that point, we got our 2 cap on. That makes it worthwhile for me. That makes it even, I don't care if I died. I don't care if I didn't get any kills. It makes it worthwhile. Notice my decision, though, to go back to this point. Knowing that the enemy team got, that we just got our 2 cap on the waterfall, I'm going to come back to the quarry because I know the enemy team is going to be occupied. They're going to be caught up with that other point. So I need to neutralize this thing, turn it around, and I know that the action is now going to be oriented in the quarry because they're going to see me capping this point at the top of their screen. So we now have an advantage. Just to talk a little bit about this build, I've got perfect inscriptions as part of this solo queue build, which allows all my signets to be twice as effective. So like I said, I'm removing 3 conditions per 10 seconds, 20% damage reduction at all times, as long as I don't pop that other signet. I've got double the improved power, plus 120 power, and I can activate retaliation because of that. So I've got a great overall build that allows me to hit like a truck. Just look at these crits I'm able to lay down. How am I laying down crits like that with 20,000 HP and all of these support abilities? I love this build. Love it, love it, love it. It allows me to do anything I want to do. Boom. There we go. Now, since I left the quarry, the enemy team went ahead and moved in on it. I'm not the kind of person to just sit still on a point, let my ally pick up the cap on that point. Now it's time for me to move back and pick up this quarry. Here's something that I really wanted to show you guys, is a rival guardian on this point. He's got this sexy armor. Anytime anybody has sexy armor, you know that they've been playing for a while, they're pretty experienced. He's got a really interesting build. He's picked up the Spirit Hammer, and he's using that wall of warding there to allow the Spirit Hammer to knock people back. And notice how he's using the hammer to constantly knock me out of the point. He's not using his shield knockback as much as I do to knock people back, but he's letting that hammer knock me back over and over and over again, which means he's got to be specced up in his power tree. And there it is. So he's got 2 knockback abilities, which is really, really nice. He's got both the shield knockback and that hammer knockback. So his build is very much oriented around capping points and holding them. Notice how he's not doing much damage to me, though. He's only doing about 300 here and there. Notice how my crits are doing about 800. His crits are not really doing as much. He's doing about 500 on his. So overall, I'm doing more damage, but given how defense-oriented this guy's build is, and the fact that he's a Guardian, we can just sit here and just beat on each other all day, which is what's going on right now. Constantly fighting each other on the point, but you know what? I'm making the decision to stay here and fight because I've got this thing neutralized, and I'm always keeping my eyes at the top of the screen to see what's going on with the other caps. Now that this minion has come in, and it's looking like overall his build can last a little bit longer 1v1. I don't know. It's kind of arguable. He's able to pursue me. I'm making the decision to run away from the point now so that he can follow me. Look how stupid this guy is. He's following me away from here. He's got his eye on the kill. He's got his eye on the kill. Oh man, take me down. Notice how my ally got the cap on there. We just kept our 2 cap despite the waterfall being pulled down. And I don't give a shit if he finished me off at the end of the game. Who cares? We won because I was more point-oriented, and that's what all of you guys should be, more capture and hold-oriented, more meta-tactics-oriented in this game. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Like I said before, if you want to see more gameplay footage as well as the build video menu coming up soon, be sure to subscribe to TGN Games. My name is Awall, and thanks for watching. Welcome to the TGN Games video menu. Click the top left-hand corner to check out the previous video, top right-hand button for the next video. Any of the video thumbnails in the center will get you more epic gameplay, and click the solo queue build button on the purple bar below to check out the theory crafting behind this video series. Channel TGN subscribe in the bottom left, and of course, bottom right to subscribe to TGN Games.